The following podcast is a Dear Media production.
Welcome back to another episode of Probably a Podcast where your very, very incredibly brave host is sitting here with no makeup on and dog ass tired. But guess what? I'm pushing through. It's my last show in Dallas tonight. We got a busy day, lots of podcasts, lots of show prep, and then I'm going to go home. But first, I'm going to be your therapist. I'm going to be your BFF. I'm going to be giving you advice on questions you guys are asking. And I just need to preface this. I am a doctor, so I will be able to give you the best advice due to my degree. I have several degrees, PhDs actually. So just keep that in mind whenever I'm giving this advice. A lot of it's all over the map. I am like really struggling to picture myself being a mother-in-law one day because like I'm not sure I've heard many positive stories. I know you wouldn't be asking me for advice if you had a really positive story with your mother-in-law. I happen to love mine, but like, you know, you're asking advice for negative things, but I'm reading these like, damn, like the mother-in-laws are crazy. They're crazy. So I have a bunch of those, but honestly, they're kind of just all over the map. So we're going to be bouncing around different categories. You know, I feel like I've lived a lot of life. I feel like I've seen a lot of shit. And you know what? I've done a lot of like bad shit in my life and gone through a lot of bad things where I've really needed good advice and I've gotten it. And I feel like it's helped me grow along the way. And we're going to apply all of that here today and now. So this one I can speak to. Some of these I can speak to personally, and some of them are just my advice if like a friend was going through this. So this one I can speak to personally. She says she's having babies in her 30s and she feels so behind. Now, I will be completely honest with you guys, and I hate this. Like, it's one of those things where like, you know, I'm trying to be better about being like, I'm just going to say how I feel and not like worry about triggering anyone. But like, I know that this could trigger someone to being like, you have plenty of time. I had a baby at 40. It's like, that's fantastic. But like, there is this deep rooted, especially if you grew up in the fucking South, there's this deep rooted notion that you're behind, right? And like all of my friends had babies earlier than me. Like I'm literally one of the last ones of my friend groups to have babies. And there is some just like preconceived notion. The only good, honestly, positive part about me is that I am married to a man from Europe, and it's like way normal there. Like we're one of the first of James' friends to have kids. So like that's helpful to see. And then also like the internet, as fear mongering and scary as it can be sometimes, it's also a really positive place for that kind of stuff, talking about ages. But if you're feeling behind, like let's just say in the retrospector aspect, like I just spoke on, I don't think I used retrospect right. In the kind of category I just spoke on about all your friends having already done it. Like I look at Taylor still, and I say it in like a jestful, like kind of manner, but I'm like, oh my God, how do you already have a 6-year-old? I want a 6-year-old. Like I just get so jealous about watching this like life that she's living and like, oh my God, your kid's going to kindergarten. Like it's almost like my baby's still baking inside of me. And I'm like, I want her to be 6 years old. It's like, no, of course I don't. Of course I want to experience like all the moments of her being a newborn, because Taylor is so funny. Taylor's always like, I want a newborn. I want to see her be a squirrel and spread her arms out because she has reflexes and she can only do this. Like, it's just like, I know I'll have my baby and then I'll be like, oh my God, timing is everything. The timing is perfect. And here's a positive you can cling to. If you're having babies later on in your life, but your frontal lobe is so developed, like that is such a gift. You know what I mean? Like, I often try to think of what kind of mother I would have been at 23, 24, 25 when my friends started having kids. I'm not sure I would have liked, this is completely separate to them. They were great mothers, but me personally, like I'm not so sure I would have liked who I would have been as a mother. I'm sure I would have been a fine mother, a great mother. I'm sure maternal instincts and all those things would have kicked in. But if you ever feel behind, think, what would life been like if I had like, you know, had a baby at 23 or 24? And maybe that will make you be like, oh, actually, I'm really thankful that I'm 30. I'm in my 30s having kids. This is a good time to have kids for me, because that always gets me through any like annoying I'm left behind feelings. And also just the random fact that I keep seeing on Instagram. Do I know if this is proven or if it's literally just some shit I saw on Instagram? I don't know. I don't know shit about shit, but I'm going to believe it. And that basically said like people that have children later on in their lives, like they live longer. And I guess you would assume that's due to the fact that like, or it said something like women that have children into their late 30s and early 40s will live longer, some percentage. And I bet it's just because you have more to live for longer. Like you are in your 50s when your kids are in, you know, their 20s and all those sorts of things. And I'm choosing to believe that. Yeah, I'm going to live long as fuck. And having children in general and like being at this stage in your life is such a beautiful thing. And not to be this, woke master 5000, but like having children in your 30s is a gift. Like it is a gift. There are a lot of people who are struggling to have children, and the fact that you got pregnant and are having a baby, like fuck your age. You know what I mean? Like you are bringing life into this world. That's incredible. But I do get it. I get this like feeling of being like, wishing that you were where someone else was at. I'm like, I wish I had a 6-year-old so that my best friend's 6-year-old and my 6-year-old could be best friends. And it's like, no, it's like, that wasn't your journey. That wasn't your timing. So try to just remember and hold on to that. And if you ever just want to think back to who you were at 23 or 24 or 25, maybe that'll help you realize now was a good time, a better time to have children, because that helps me. 3-year-old son who's a redhead. He is the only one. How do I make him feel confident about it? Okay. I think growing up a redhead is such a honestly beautiful and despicable thing that children have to go through. Like, and you would think, like, I thought about this the other day. I was like, surely it's easier now. Like, surely there's like the internet and there's like the world where you can see beautiful and popular like redheads and like famous redheads. And like I swear, like back when I was a redhead, it was just like South Park, gingers don't have souls. Like that was tough. You know what I mean? It was always like the redhead's Chucky on Rugrats. Okay, that's great. That's good. He's allergic to everything and he's a fucking nerd. You know what I mean? Like the redhead was always the loser. And now I feel like we see, other than the Little Mermaid, I was hanging on by a thread, just being like, I'm Ariel. Right. But I just feel like now, like you've got like Riverdale, like the lead is such a cool, hot redhead. Like you've got all these things you can kind of show him. But I think if he's 3 years old and he has red hair and he's like feeling left out or different or whatever, I think you convince him that him having red hair literally makes him a superhero. And you tell him like Bible, like you are literally a superhero and it's so cool. And anyone else that you meet with red hair, they're also superheroes. And it's so cool. Like, I don't know, come up with some fun way to make him feel special so he doesn't feel left out. But it is a special thing. And I actually saw a TikTok the other day. It was like a redhead who was talking about something. She was this gorgeous redhead. She was also tan, and I think it was natural, which like really made me hate her. And she was talking about something about being a ginger, and I saw this girl comment underneath it, and she was like, I'm a ginger, and I clicked on her profile, and I could tell she was younger. She was like in middle school, it looked like, and she was like, I'm a redhead, and the only people that ever compliment my hair are old people and my mom's friends. Like nobody my age likes my hair, compliments my hair. The way that like brought me back, like the way I remember telling my mom, like, she's like, you're so lucky you have this beautiful hair. You have this beautiful hair. And I talk about this all the time where I was like, as a kid, I wanted to dye my hair. I wanted to get those chunky blonde highlights, mostly because it was the 2000s and that was like so in. And then two, just because I was like, I hate my red hair. Like I hate it. I want to be blonde like all my friends. Not realizing that my friends are all like tan and like hot and have blonde hair. Like I would have just been blonde and still like pale and scraggly and awkward looking like I did. Like honestly, the red hair really suited me and during that phase of my life. Anyways, I resonated with that so well because it was always old people that came up to me and like, I just love that red hair. You just have the most gorgeous red hair. Is that natural? You are so lucky. But like, was, Jonathan in 8th grade telling me he loved my hair? No. He loved Kayla. He loved Kayla with the blonde hair who played soccer. That's who he loved. Like, it's like hard at that age. Like it is. But three is an age. Also, he's a dude. Like, I'm gonna be completely honest. I could be incorrect. I'm just speaking from personal preference, but I feel like it might be a little bit harder being like a redheaded girl. Like if you're a redheaded dude, like he could be cool in so many other things. Like dudes just have an easier life, let's be honest. So I think if he's 3, make him feel really cool and really special and tell him like you have a superpower. And as annoying as it is, honestly, it's one of those things that just comes with time. Like it was true. Like my mom used to always say, like, you're going to grow up one day and love your hair. You're going to grow up one day and just be so thankful I never let you dye your hair. And now I look back and I'm literally like, that girl was so right. Moms are right. Like I'm obsessed with my hair. I am obsessed with the fact that I don't have to dye it. I love the color of it. I feel so special. I feel so beautiful. And sometimes we are given these ailments. Being a ginger is an ailment at times. Like we are given these so that we can learn this lesson, maybe in a previous life. What is it? Anna Grace always tells me that like when you have your past life and your future life, like you always come into your current life to learn a lesson about yourself, whether that be patience, whether that be like getting through grief, whether that be, and like, honestly, redheads were put on this earth to learn how to love ourselves. Okay. Because we have to. So it'll come with time, mama. It'll come with time. But for right now, he's 3. Convince him he's the most badass superhero redhead that ever existed and that his hair is a superpower.
Now, for many new moms, hair thinning is an unexpected and frustrating part of motherhood. Luckily, there is something that you can do about it. So Nutrafol's postpartum supplement was OBGYN formulated to target root causes of postpartum hair thinning and sleepless nights, hormonal changes, nutrient gaps, and stress while using breastfeeding friendly ingredients. Now, I am a new mama to be myself, and actually even before I got pregnant, I was always getting Nutrafol's postpartum supplement for my friends as a gift after they would have their kids. I just feel like it's something that's really special to be able to give new moms who are going through the postpartum hair thinning. So if you guys want to check out this for Nutrafol, Mother's Day is coming up, guys. This is a great gift. Nutrafol is the #1 dermatologist recommended hair growth supplement brand, trusted by over 1.5 million people. That's why this Mother's Day, Nutrafol makes the perfect gift. There's something for every mom on your list. Truly, the postpartum formula is great for women in the first year after giving birth. I myself am going to stock up soon. And the Women's Balance formula is perfect for women 45 and up experiencing perimenopause or menopause. And of course, the women's formulas are great for those who are just in those in-between life stages. Any mom on this Mother's Day would just love Nutrafol as a gift. It's just incredible. I was taking Nutrafol Women's before, and I just love it so, so much. So this Mother's Day, why don't you consider Nutrafol, the best-selling hair growth supplement, whether you're gifting it to yourself or a loved one. Nutrafol is offering my listeners $10 off any order. Enjoy free shipping when you subscribe. Just go to Nutrafol.com and enter promo code PROBABLYGIFT. That's Nutrafol.com, spelled Nutrafol.com, promo code PROBABLYGIFT. That's Nutrafol.com, promo code PROBABLYGIFT.
Oh, okay. We're getting into some mother-in-law, sister-in-law territory. This is crazy sister-in-law. We did a wedding menu tasting last week, and she literally spit the food out. It didn't really elaborate, and I know that question box kind of makes it small, and I didn't have time to message her and be like, can you elaborate? But to me, that just kind of seems like a rude ass bitch. You know what I mean? It just seems like a stuck up, snooty, rude sister-in-law who wants to make it clear. Like, if you saw her spitting out food, okay, she wants you to know how she feels about your wedding, about your food. So if you caught her, if you found out through the grapevine that she was talking shit, if you found out that behind your back she was saying like the food is so bad, if you went searching for this information, if you literally like turned a corner and saw she was spitting into her napkin really quietly, like in that situation, I feel like it'd be a little bit harder because it's like she's kind of just a cunt and like that must just be how she lives her life. But this to me sounds like she literally was spitting her food out on purpose so that you would see her do that, so that she would know. So if she wants you to know how she feels, I think it's very okay to let her know how you feel. Now, I know that I'm answering this in a very aggressive way, like la 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 la. And when you have actually family involved, it's a bit harder and you don't want to like, you need to toe that line, right? There's this gray area of like, I want to pop the fuck off, but also I don't want to like ruin my family's dynamic and relationship with her brother, et cetera, et cetera. So in this case, though, if she was being pretty outwardly crazy and ridiculous and spitting her food out, I would choose the route of being like, hey, I saw you spit your food out at the wedding tasting. One, kind of bummed me out because, you know, it is my wedding tasting and we loved it. But two, and this could be in a text message, but two, just like moving forward, if you're going to make like outward gestures of disgust regarding our wedding, if you could like go into another room or kind of just like hide your outburst and use words like outburst to make her feel like she's a child, like, cause she's acting like a child. Like if you could just like during our wedding, I'm just like wanting it to be so special and magical. So if you could just kind of like keep your outbursts either like hidden or to maybe just like, you know, you could just talk about it with your husband or your girlfriends, just so I don't have to see you kind of do this with regards to our wedding. Like make her feel fucking stupid. Like you're a child. Like you're a child. And if you want to have an outburst, if you want to have a tantrum or spit your food out, treat her like a 4-year-old. Go into another room to do that. Okay? Okay, you're going to spit your food. You don't like your dinosaur chicken nuggets and spit it in your napkin? Go to another room to do it. Like, I fucking cannot with that shit. Like, everyone's entitled to their opinion. If your sister-in-law hates your fucking wedding, honestly, whatever. Like, maybe someone came to my wedding and they hated it. They didn't. But like, that's their prerogative. That's their opinion. They don't need to be outwardly showing that. That's just her trying to be a cunt. Okay? That's what that is. Okay, so I think you should say something because she wanted to make it clear that you see her do that. So say something. Mother-in-law telling me when I should be telling people I'm pregnant. I'm 9 weeks and she really wants to tell the family. This is literally not her pregnancy and it's not her right. It's she like, obviously, you know, asking this question, absolutely not. But I think in this situation, and there's a lot of mother-in-law situations where it's, I think, your responsibility to enlist your husband to help with this. And maybe even with the sister-in-law thing too, you could have asked your husband to send that text message about this stuff. Like, honestly, They are his immediate family. You're married into his family. They are his responsibility. To have a relationship with them is a beautiful thing that you should strive for and you should put effort towards. But in regards to them acting out, that's his family and his responsibility. If my sister, brother, parents like did anything crazy, I would not expect my husband to deal with it. I'd be like, I'll handle this. Let me go talk to them. And yes, James is a grown ass adult. And I'm sure in some situations he'd be like, I can speak to them. I can handle it. But like, if it was something like that, I'd be like, you need to talk to your mom. You need to talk to your mom and tell her that like we are announcing this pregnancy when we want to, when she is carrying the baby right now. Feeling safe and feeling less stress as possible at 9 weeks is so important. Like feeling the safety around your pregnancy is so important. No one can take that away from you and no one deserves or has the right to. So tell your husband, like, I need you to explain to your mom that like, I don't feel comfortable, and feeling comfortable in this pregnancy is the number one thing I want to feel. And she's making me feel uncomfortable by wanting to tell people our secret and our news before we're ready to. Make him do it. I don't get headaches very often in this pregnancy, but I'm like feeling one brewing. And like the way I miss Advil, like I would just pop an Advil right now. And then they say you can take Tylenol, but like fuck a Tylenol. Oh, I want an Advil so bad right now. Okay. Do you have any guilt having James move to America? I'm currently in an international relationship. I don't have any guilt with him moving here, but mostly because he was so adamant, like that he was excited to move here. Now, I loved him so much when we first started dating. Like if he would have been like, my life's in London, my business is in London, I have to stay in London. Like I probably would have just been like, what an exciting chapter of my life now. Now I moved to London. Like I would have done that. But like realistically, I would have rather stayed in America, honestly, just due to the weather. So in that regard, I don't feel guilty, but I will say I try to be really, really cognizant and aware of the time he gets to spend with his friends and family. You know, James has very minimal friends in the States right now. So whenever he goes to visit his friends, like if he has a ski trip, I'm like, take as much time as you need. Like go for a week. Do you feel like you're going to be there long enough? Do you feel like you're going to have enough time with your friends and your family? Like, are you staying long enough? I try to really remind him, like, you can spend as much time with your family and your friends over there as you need to, because he sees them very minimally. Right. And then like when his family, we're really lucky. Like his family comes to visit us a lot. And like, that's expensive. That's hard to do. Hard time to take work off, and his sisters and brothers take time off work and school. So we're really lucky. And when they come, I try to give it my all. Like I try to really like put aside work stuff. Like I remember whenever they're coming actually in a couple weeks, and I was like, I'm not doing any shows. I'm not doing any work. Like I need to focus on his family being here and give that the attention it deserves, because he does not get to see them as much as I do. So I think as long as you're being really cognizant of that and being respectful of the fact that he doesn't get to see his people as often as you get to see his people, then you shouldn't carry around any guilt, because it's a beautiful thing. These intercontinental relationships, they're beautiful, and they do take more effort and they put more strain. But like if you really love someone, then that's what you do for someone. How to steer repetitive and sometimes negative conversations with the best friend. So this is also short, but I'm gonna like use this. Just happened, not to me, but to someone else. They were just bitching to me about how like their friend won't stop talking about their girlfriend, and the girlfriend is like so toxic, so this. And he's like, I listen to him, and then it's like I'm like, what's going on? Like it's the same thing over and over and over again. And I brought up that quote by Albert Einstein that doing the same thing over and over but expecting a different result is the definition of insanity. And I think this is coming from a place of also personal experience. So when I was 16, 17, and 18, I dated this guy that cheated on me relentlessly in high school. I think I've told you guys about him. My friends, Brantley's one of them. They got to a point, and my friends in high school too, they got to a point where they were like, we love you so much. This guy cheated on me all the time. And I would keep getting back together with them, But then I would want to call my friends and be like, no, he did this. And then I'd be like, but we're back together. Like, I mean, like, I'm going to give myself some credit there. I was 17, but kill me. And I know this happens to adults in adult relationships. And I think if you're with a friend who's constantly talking negatively about a situation, about a partner, but then they don't do anything to change it, you have the right to say, my friends told me this. Like, we love you so much, but if you're not going to do anything to change this situation that you're negatively speaking about in circles, like, we can't hear about it anymore. It is draining your cup, but then you're draining our cup. And like, honestly, friends are there to like help fill your cups back up when you're drained. If it was a one-time thing, like everyone has the right. Taylor calls me and she's negative, I am listening, I'm locked in. I call her, I'm negative, she's listening, she's locked in. But every conversation Taylor and I have is not round and round and round and round and round about the same negative situation. That will drive you fucking insane. And that is when your friend is now draining you rather than filling your cup up. So I think it's perfectly okay to be like, I feel like we talk about this all the time. And you could be nice, like if it's not a situation where like a boyfriend's cheating on her over and over again, if she just happens to be like talking in circles about the same negative thing, like, I don't know, like that girl's so annoying and she's so this, or maybe talks about her coworkers being annoying or something like trivial that she just goes around and around in circles and it's always negative. It's like, that is so not fun to be around. Like someone just only talking shit and only being negative and then saying the same thing. Just be like, girl, I feel like I heard this story 100 times. I feel like we talked about this. I'm getting deja vu. It's Groundhog Day. I feel like we've been here before. We gotta keep it moving. Like, be lighthearted, but like that will trigger her. Like, oh, okay, I guess she's noticed. So I guess she doesn't like talking about this as much as I do. No, I don't. It's negative. It's not fun. It's going around in circles. I don't like it. So like, you can handle if it's something as toxic as like getting back together with an ex that she can't leave. Like, you have the right to be like, I can't talk to you about this anymore. When you break up with him for good. Call me. I am here for you. But if it's going to keep being this over and over and over again cycle that you're doing and you're putting yourself in, I can't be a part of it anymore. I'm so sorry. That's what my friends told me. But if it's just trivial shit, tell her like, girl, it's Groundhog Day. I can't keep talking about the same thing.
Okay, this is a PSA for anyone who rents. That used to be me, and I wish I knew about Built Rewards back then, because it is truly the best thing to ever exist. Don't ever let anyone rent shame you, by the way, because sometimes renting just makes the most sense, but people love to tell you, oh, you're throwing your money down the toilet. Like, okay, well, I have to rent right now. So if you haven't heard of Built, you guys are about to thank me. Earning points on rent is now a reality when you get to pay your rent through Built. Now, you don't even have to check with your landlord. I was just telling my brother about Built because he's now renting, and he was like, cool, I'll check with my landlord. And I was like, you literally don't even have to. Just start earning points that you can use towards flights, hotel stays, fitness classes, and even your next rent payment. That is crazy. Let me break it down for you. Okay, so there's no cost to join Built, and as a member, you'll earn valuable points on rent and on your everyday spending. So Built points can be transferred to your favorite hotels, your favorite airlines, and even ones you haven't heard of. I found out so many more through Built. Like, there are over 500 airlines and 700,000 hotels and properties all around the world that you can redeem your Built points towards. So points can be redeemed towards a future rent payment. I just think that's iconic, and unique experiences that only Built members can access. So you guys, if you're not earning points on rent, my question is, why not? Okay, just start earning points on rent that you're already paying. That's the thing. You're already paying this money. You might as well be earning points on it by going to joinbuilt.com/probably. That's joinbilt.com/probably. Make sure to use my URL so they know that I sent you. Joinbuilt.com/probably to start earning points on your rent payments today.
Liking blowjobs when you hate bodily fluids. That sounds tough. I don't know who likes bodily fluids. Like, if you're out here like, I love other people's spit and jizz and sweat, surely not. But I understand that some people can be like so in the mood sexually that they can just like, get that out of their mind. But yeah, I know some people are like, it's all I think about. Here's the thing. A man that you are giving a blowjob to is the luckiest man in the world. All right. He is so lucky to be there. So I don't think if you tell them like, hey, I am so happy to give you head. I'm more than happy. I literally love to see you turned on. I love getting that, done for you. I have a really weird thing about bodily fluids. I wish I could get past it. I can't. So I will give you head as many times as you want, or whatever you want to say, but like, it is going to be one of those things where I cannot have the jizz in my mouth or near me. Like, I'm sorry, if a guy's getting head and he has to pull out and finish himself off the last 3 seconds, he'll be fine. Like, if it's something that you really cannot get past, like, he'll be fine. You're still willing to give head. Like, you're fine. This man is still a very, 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 very lucky man. There are some girls and some men who are like, yeah, I don't do that. And like, also they're right, but like, damn, can you try? Like, if it's truly just about the jizz, then like, you can tell him that. Like, I can't do it. So I'll do that part, but not this part. It's compromise, honey. You're still getting a blowjob. Okay. Why is my engagement ring turning my finger green or black? I have done so much motherfucking research on this. I wonder if mine is right now. No, we're in a good day. So The only thing I can think of, so your engagement ring, presumably, I don't think there's another way around it. Your engagement ring is yellow gold. It's real yellow gold. Now, as you know, costume jewelry, if you sweat, have lotion on, or it gets wet, I think fake gold, like, you know, like think like just like cheap gold can turn necks green and such of the sort. But real gold turns your fingers green in a different way and for a different reason. Now, I have only come to the conclusion so far amongst all my research, because mine used to be so bad. I used to think it was only when I drank red wine, and it was like that. I figured it out. That's it. It's when I drink red wine, the tannins in it or something about it must really affect my skin reaction with the yellow gold. That's it. Then I get pregnant. I'm clearly not drinking red wine. Fingers are still turning green every once in a while. And it is so every just once in a while. Then I did some more research and I found out that it's a lack of iron. Now that would make perfect sense because I got pregnant and I was like, red meat is the devil. I don't want anything to do with red meat. If you are red meat, you're out of my life. Okay. Now I've gotten back. So my fingers were always green. My this is real gold. This is real gold. Actually, all my jewelry is real gold. So it's like, okay, so not the flex. Anyways, it's just like, I was green all the time. And mine's bad. Mine won't just turn my finger green. Anything it touches. So like the inside of my other fingers would be green. So lack of iron made a lot of sense. And then I got into my second trimester. I could eat steak all the time, burgers all the time. Actually, that sounds so good right now. Boom, the green stopped. So that does seem fair. So maybe get some iron supplements, but be careful. I think they make you constipated, or just eat more red meat or eat anything that has more iron in it. That's what I found to fix it. Feeling stuck in my life at 25. I'm happy and content, but I feel like there's more out there for me. You're 25. You are so young. If you feel like there's more out there for you, there's more out there for you. Okay. Like if you told me you were 40 in a marriage with children and you feel stuck, I would be more inclined, I'm going to be honest, to tell you like, let's find some things to zhuzh your life up. Let's have a conversation with our husband. Let's reorganize our lives. Let's figure this out. Okay. Because you have a lot of life you've lived and you might just be in a rut. If you are 25 years old and you feel stuck and you're just like, I'm happy, I'm content. I promise you that is not the life we're meant to live. That is not the life we're meant to live. Like, and I hope that didn't sound ageist. I just mean like when other factors are at play, like if you're in your 40s with children and a husband, like I just think those are something to like fight for. But if you're 25 years old, even if you have a kid and you're with someone that you're just like, this is not my forever, that is not the life we're supposed to live. I know it. I know it's not. You are young. You have so much life ahead of you. Your child, if you have a child with them, or if you don't have a kid, the guy that you're with, they will be okay when you move on. They will be okay. You will still have your kid in your life. Like, it's not the life we're meant to live. Like we literally get one. I know now, like break that down. It's like surface level, the most cliche thing you could say. We only have one life to live. But like it could get kind of like, I sometimes like existentially think about it and I'm like, like I only have one life. Like we dead ass only have one life. Sure. If you believe in next lives and next lives, which I actually do, and previous lives, but like I'm not me in that next life. I'm not cognitively there. This is the literal one life I have. If I don't wake up every day madly in love with the man I'm with, if I don't wake up every day and love my job, at least like my job, or at least have enough benefits from my job, money wise or freedom wise to be like, okay, I'm working to live, but I go home and I love my life. You got to stop. And if you're 25, you're in the best place in the world to whatever you're content about, shift. Now's the time to shift. Dude, that is not the life you're meant to live. We are not meant to go through life just content and just fine. Life is not meant to be lived like that. Fucking shift. You're 25, shift. Post-divorce, he's now with the girl he had an affair with. I cannot quit obsessing. First of all, I would 100% do the same for a little bit. And I'm giving you the grace for your obsession, but we're going to give you tough love now. And we're going to also shift on this one, because you need to stop thinking about him as your ex-husband. Stop thinking about him as the man you loved, the man you married, and stop thinking about her as this girl who's living this fairy tale. He is a deadbeat fucking cheater ass loser. So think of him like that. He is a literal cheating loser, and she is a home wrecking whore. Okay. And that's how we're going to view them. And that might be really harsh, right? Like that's obviously we're taking it to the extreme there, but to help you quit obsessing, stop looking at them as this like, look at this picture of them being so cute. Oh, and look, he's taking her here now. They're not a couple in Cabo having a vacation. They're a deadbeat cheating loser and a home wrecking slut. Think of them like that in your brain. That's the titles you give them, and look at them and what a sad life they're living. And it'll help you. I'm telling you, it'll help you. And like, yeah, that's like, not healing probably, but like heal later. Right now, to quit the obsession, think of them no longer as a man and a woman who are together and they're happy. And by the way, you lose them how you got them, baby. Like, she is with a cheater. And let her probably fantasy and fixation in her mind is like, I got the man, he left her for me. Like, you let her have her fucking whack ass like reality. That's not the reality. You were with a man who was with another woman and he left her for you. Like, ick. That's such a gross man. So stop viewing them as a man and a woman and start viewing them as nasty individuals, and it'll help you get over the obsession, because they're not living this fairy tale that you're seeing in photos on Facebook or on Instagram, which, by the way, stop looking at them. But even if you're just having these thoughts of them like on vacation, or thoughts of them making dinner together, like, don't think of them as this cute couple. They ain't. They're pathetic losers.
Guys, I'm so excited to say this. It's starting to get sunny outside, and all I can think is vacation season is nearly upon us. Okay. So I'm obviously like trying to buy things that make sense for me right now because I'm pregnant and so my sizes are fluctuating. And this year I am treating myself to the luxe upgrades that I deserve with Quince's high quality travel essentials at fair prices. Now, I love that I don't feel guilty for splurging at Quince because like they have amazing stuff. Okay. Lightweight European linen styles from $30, you guys, but it's legit linen, washable silk tops and comfy lounge sets. You guys, this is like a pregnant woman's dream on vacation. I just love this so much. And with premium luggage options and stylish totes that carry it all. You guys, they have these tote bags that are genuinely like so gorgeous. And the best part of it all, Quince items, as per usual, are going to be priced 50 to 80% less than similar brands. And that is because they do the most amazing thing ever. They partner directly with top factories. So Quince cuts out the cost of the middleman and they pass those savings on to us. That's what I really love about it. I was obsessed with their cashmere crew necks. They have this like Mongolian cashmere sweaters that I'm just obsessed with. I have one in like this dark blue color that's like a boat neck. It's just gorgeous. And people really can tell when something's like high quality and luxe and cashmere. And I'm not here to gatekeep my secrets. When people would tell me, I was 100% that girl that was like, oh, Quince, it's from Quince. And it literally cost me $50. So the fact that I'm about to get some European linen styles for $30 and silk tops, like you just can never go wrong with silk tops on vacation. And it's real silk, you guys. Like, I just love that they're going to cut that middleman out and then give us the savings. But I also love, most importantly, that Quince works with factories that use safe, ethical, and responsibly manufacturing practices and premium fabrics and finishes. Not all of these big companies are working with factories that are ethical, and to know that Quince really prides themselves on that, I love that so much. And let me tell you about a couple of things that I got while I was shopping on Quince for vacation. I don't even have a vacation that's coming up anytime super soon, but it doesn't even matter. Okay, so they have really cool travel bags. They've got this Italian leather triple compartment weekender bag. It is so chic. You guys, it's chic. It's so good. The color I got mine in is like, it's like a camel color. I think they call it golden tan. Yeah, it's incredible. So for your next trip, treat yourself to the luxe upgrades that you deserve from Quince. Go to quince.com/probably for 365-day returns plus free shipping on your order. That's QUINCE.com/probably to get free shipping on your 365-day returns. Quince.com/probably.
How did you get through the months where you were trying to conceive and you didn't get those positives? I talked about this a lot in my pregnancy episode, part 1, if you want to go back and listen to it. But basically, I just had to keep reminding myself that timing was everything. 2 things. 1, that getting pregnant is the craziest miracle. Like, if you go watch one of those videos on Instagram, like how a sperm meets an egg and fertilizes an egg, it is the craziest fucking thing. It's like, this little sperm has to defy so many odds, so many obstacles. It's like watching Osmosis Jones, some of those videos. They're like fucking everything's trying to attack this sperm. Everything's like, nope. It's like a really beautiful natural thing that's supposed to happen. Of course, a sperm fertilizing an egg, but like there's for some reason so many obstacles in our bodies along the way. So just know it's a real damn miracle when it happens. So give yourself some grace that it doesn't happen right away the first month you try, okay? Secondly, I believe that the babies that we have are literally already ours. They're already ours. They're just waiting for us. They're literally like, that's my mom. That's my mom. You know, when people are like, I'm so glad, this phrase is like made fun of a lot of the times. It's actually so funny. Amanda Hirsch always talks about this, not skinny but not fat. Like, I'm so glad you chose me. And she's always like, what do you mean your baby chose you? Like, what do you mean? But like, it's kind of like a cute way to think of it. Like, your baby is up there and maybe God chose you for him. Maybe the universe, maybe the baby, I don't know, is like, that one, that's one's my mom. But like, if you think about the baby's already being yours, then the timing that you get them is exactly and perfectly correct. Like the baby you will have now that I got pregnant when I got pregnant is not the same baby that I would have had if I got pregnant. And of course it'll be different when I have the actual baby in my hands and I'm like, oh my God, it's you. It's always been you. But like, that's not the same baby I would have had if I got pregnant when I was trying in September, you know? And it's a beautiful thing. Timing, if you can allow yourself to see the beautiful, positive parts of timing, then you know that it's really divine and it's really perfect for each individual person. That helped me. How to nicely ask my boyfriend to take more charge in the bedroom. I think honestly, it's one of those things where you can get away with a lot of stuff when you're already having sex. Like you can get away with a lot of like saying stuff. And like, if you guys are already having sex, if you say something like, I think it's so sexy when you blah, blah, blah. Like he doesn't even have to be doing it right then. Like he doesn't have to be doing what you're about to say. Like if you just say like, it's so hot when you blah, blah, blah. Like a guy is already turned on and already having sex with you. He's like, okay, I like that. Like, okay, then I'll do that. Like if you are with a secure man, he's not going to be like, why would you say that? Where'd you hear that? Where'd you watch that? Like a secure dude's going to be like, okay, that would turn me on. Like, and if he's ever taken charge before in the bedroom, just like name something he did before. Like it was so hot when you did blah, blah, blah that one time. Like reference something he's already done and just remind him that you loved when he did that. And that's a nice way to like ease into it. Like you never like want to sit a guy down and be like, we need to talk about our sex life. It's like, okay, that's bad. How to manage bills in a relationship when I make so much more than my man. Okay. In a relationship I had in the past, I made all the money and I wanted to live a very lavish lifestyle. And my ex at the time did not care to. He was like, I don't need literally any of this stuff that you're talking about. And I was like, well, I do. That's the life I want to live. Now, one might say the two of us were just simply not compatible. And I'm not saying that about you two. I'm just saying like he didn't want for the things that we were even paying for. I think you're just talking about bills. Like how do I handle like who pays the electricity, who pays the rent when I make so much more than him? It feels unfair to split it because I clearly make so much more than him. I struggled with that a little bit, but then I kind of just like decided the things I wanted, I would pay for. So like, I also just like, I'm a chronic empath. And so like, I just like paid for everything. I think this is not the right move. I paid for everything. I paid for the Wi-Fi. I paid for the electricity. I paid for the amenities. I paid for our rent. He gave me money towards, this is a good thing you could do. He gave me money towards the rent, right? Like I wanted to live in this big house. He was like, we don't need a big house like that. And he, by the way, he was right, but I didn't care. I wanted to live there. So for that reason, I said, okay, then why don't you just give X amount towards the rent and I'll pay this amount that I know is easier for me to pay. So that way he was still paying more. Well, then it got to a point where he kind of just stopped paying rent altogether. And then I just paid all of it. It was my idea. I was like, you just focus on you and save your money and I'll pay the rent. It's the house I wanted. I'll pay for it. That begins to breed resentment. You do whether you think so or not, whether you think you're the coolest person in the world and you don't care. And like, I don't care about societal pressures and the patriarchy. And like, I can make more money than him and I'll pay for it. I don't care. It'd be the same thing if a man was paying for a woman. No one would blink an eye. Yes, but no. Like you do start harboring resentment. At least I did, where I was like, and another thing, he doesn't fucking pay rent. Well, guess what, Shannon? You set him down and said, baby, please don't pay rent. And he was like, no. And I was like, no, seriously, please don't pay rent. Like that is on you. That's on you because you made that decision. So I think it's still really good to put him in charge of some bills. But if it's someone that you really love and you want to make sure that he is financially still kind of like towing his weight, but his weight is all he has, you know, then put him into like, hey, how about you cover the amenities and then I'll cover the rent? Maybe you just don't split things 50-50. You find a percentage that makes sense. But maybe when you have this conversation, you say something like, and the second you start making more, you get a raise, like then we can talk again and maybe we can go back to 50-50. But right now, I think it makes more sense and it's more comfortable for me to pay, 70% and you to pay 30% for now. But like say something like that. And like, I don't know, if you want to go on a vacation and fly, here's my thing. When I wanted to go to Italy and I wanted to fly first class, like with my ex, I was like, well, I'm not putting him in economy. Like, that was my choice and I did that and I still had all fun on all those vacations. You know what I mean? Like live your life and just try to not like harbor resentment within the pain for things. We got married, my husband and I, in September. We are 29 and 35 and I'm 29, he's 35. We've been together 8 years and I'm dying to be a mom and I'm getting older, but I'm torn because I love this newlywed phase. When will we know that it's time? Like, I feel like it's now and I'm just being selfish. I don't agree with that. Also, you're 29, like, you're 29, babe. You're fine. Like you're good. I think do not have a baby just because you're like, we're 29 and we've been together 8 years. If you're loving the newlywed phase, bake in that, sit in that, like you do you. I actually have several friends who got married and were married for 4 or 5 years before they decided they wanted children. And they were like, I talked to, my friend about this, and she was like, I just feel so selfish. Like I worried, like, will I ever want kids? And I was like, you will if you will, and you won't if you won't. Like, you don't have children just because you think, oh, it's what everyone does. Don't do that. If you are loving the newlywed phase, love the newlywed phase. And guess what? That same friend has 2 children right now. She's like, I'm so glad I waited to have kids when I wanted to have kids, because then it was such a beautiful thing rather than I just jumped into this pond because everyone else is jumping into the pond. And I just realized I don't like ponds. Like, do it when you're ready to do it. And that, I watched it happen with my friend, and she is so happy. And she really said to me, like, what if I just like never want kids? And I'm like, then you never want kids and you have a beautiful life with your husband. It's okay. So it sounds to me like you're saying, you want kids. You're always ready to be a mom, but you're enjoying your newlywed phase. Babe, enjoy your newlywed phase. Do not rush it. Soak it up. You have plenty of time to have kids. Okay. This one is crazy as fuck.
Okay, if you guys are like me and our family and we were trying to make some non-toxic swaps in our home, let me tell you, there's a lot of easy ones you can go to, but the most important one that I think you should do first and invest in is swapping out your pots and pans. You need to switch to Caraway, okay? Because your pots and pans are filled with microplastics and toxins. I just had my parents switch over. I got them for Christmas and they're obsessed, and they have bought more since because she's like, I'm obsessed with Caraway. So listen to these stats. Like, this is just kind of disgusting. The amount of plastic in brain samples has increased 50% since 2016. Okay. And a single scratch on a Teflon cookware can release over 9,000 microplastic particles. It's just crazy. Like, over a lifetime, a person consumes at least the equivalent of the height of the Eiffel Tower, 363 meters, in microplastics. You guys, like, whatever we can do to not have that happen, we got to try. And I just really think Caraway does a great job by making a healthy change in your life. And with their products, they're taking a stand against the harmful plastics that find a way into our meals, literally the food we cook, when you're using that traditional cookware. So if you didn't know, microplastics are basically these like tiny little fragments of plastic, typically like 3 millimeters or smaller, that form as synthetic materials break down. But Caraway kitchenware is crafted with sustainable, non-toxic materials like FSC certified birch wood, premium stainless steel, and naturally slick ceramic, and more, to help you create a safer and healthier home. Think about this. You're cooking for your husband, your wife, your children. Like, don't you want that to be good for them? So I just love, they sell it in sets too. That's what I got my parents. You can save a lot of money if you buy it in the sets. I love it. It's so chic. It's just so much cleaner. And they have different colorways. Like, they have aesthetically really matched it and met the mark. Like, if it was ugly, I would still buy it because of it having no microplastics, but I love that it's aesthetically pleasing and just amazing for elevating your space and just using your Caraway cookware set. It's just the vibe. It's the vibe. It looks good. It makes you feel better about it. It's wonderful. So I did the math, and you guys know I'm a mathematician. There's no better time to make the healthy swap to Caraway. My favorite cookware set, it's going to save you $150 versus buying the items individually. Like I said, this is what I gave to my parents, the set. Plus, if you visit carawayhome.com/probably, you can take an additional 10% off your next purchase. Now, this deal is exclusive for my listeners, so visit carawayhome.com/probably or use code probably at checkout. Caraway, non-toxic cookware made modern.
Okay, this one is crazy as fuck. And I have to read it. Do I have to like my best friend's kid? He's kind of a brat and he doesn't have much personality. Like, to take pen to paper and say that to someone is so out of pocket. Like, I really love you guys, because that's fucking crazy, like, to say out loud to someone. But of course, we'll always keep these things anonymous. That's an anonymous person I don't know. Anyways, yeah, try. You should give it a good college try. He's not your child, so it doesn't sound like, it's just, you don't have to be obsessed with him. But to say like he doesn't have much personality is like so crazy. Like, I think you didn't tell me what age the kid is. Kids, like, Taylor has 3 children. I always joke with her, and I'll be like, Lola's my favorite right now, because it's like literally whoever's just being the funniest and the cutest right now. Like Walker's like my favorite this week. Like, she's being so funny. Like, she is saying the darndest things. Like, kids like have different ages and different like it happens with different ages. So like, just fucking give them a second, okay? Don't hang the poor kid out to dry yet. He's your best friend's son. Like, just see if he changes and evolves. I mean, it is hard to watch like your kid have like your friend to have a brat as a kid, because I guess like you absolutely cannot parent your friend's kid for them. So that's always tricky. But I mean, kids are also brats sometimes. I bet you were a brat sometimes when you were a kid. And I bet your mom's friend was like, she's being a little shithead right now. Yeah, I say my vote is you try a little harder. Try a little harder, or try to be a little less judgmental, and also give it some time. Maybe he's at like a age where he's just like not fun and doesn't have much personality. I'm like actually picturing this being like an infant. And you're like, doesn't have much personality right now. It's like, just let him cook. Let him cook for a sec, okay? Reducing labor and birth fear. I'm 13 weeks, but I haven't wasted any time being anxious about giving birth and going into labor. I had such a fear of labor and birth when I was like younger. It's so funny. It was like, I was like 14, 15. I think it was when I figured out what my vagina was and like how my vagina feels and like how large and small my vagina was. Maybe like when I started putting tampons in, and I was like, oh my God, people have babies out of their vagina. Like it just like really hit me. And I had this like fixation fear on giving birth at like literally 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Like I was just like, I'll never be able to do it. Now that I'm older, and I don't know how old you are, but I'm just like, you're 13 weeks pregnant. I'm just like, it's not something I worry about, because I just take in the account that every second of the day, literally 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3, babies are born every second of the day. It's literally what we were put on this earth to do. Like from a deep rooted, like, caveman-esque type of thing. Like, yeah, like girl boss, live your dream, follow your truth, get that job. But like at the end of the day, like mammal wise, women were here to like give birth. And I think like you just have to take solace in knowing that women all over the world at the same time you are giving birth are giving birth. Like your body was designed to do this. Like, yes, it is hard. Yes, it's an incredible feat. But like another thing, every single person, one of my friends that has had a baby is like, it's the craziest thing. You go through childbirth. It's so hard. And then your body literally makes you forget. Like your body literally is like, oh, I'll have another one. I forgot what that was like. Like it's on purpose. Like we forget what it's like on purpose so that we can just have another. So like none of my friends are like, I've had such a traumatizing birth, I can never do it again. Like, no, they're all like, yeah, I remember it being hard, but I'm going to do it again and it'll be fine. And every time more that you have kids, the, more your body is used to giving birth. I just think you just have to remember that like your body's built for it, babe. Like your body is literally built for this shit. You are going to do it. You are going to do it. You're going to have your baby. And it's hard right now to think about it. And I get it. Because, I'm not super far along, right? Like I haven't even felt my baby kick inside of me, but 13 weeks, it's hard because you literally have this like tiny little like, sesame seed inside of you kind of vibes. It's like, oh my God, giving birth is gonna be so crazy. Once we are big beluga whales and we feel this baby inside of us and we're watching this baby yawn and smile and stretch in our little 3D ultrasounds, like you are gonna be like, give me that baby. Give me my baby. I cannot wait to see my baby. I cannot wait to hold my baby. Like I just know further on in pregnancy, I'm going to feel such a deeper connection to my child and be like, I literally cannot wait to get her out of my vagina and to hold her. And then she will be mine. Like give it time, because I think 13 weeks is still in this like phase of like, what the fuck is happening right now? And is birth going to be crazy and horrible? No, like you're going to be fine. You're going to be fine. You're really going to be just fine. I promise. Okay. My cat just passed away and I'm distraught. No will to do anything. I can't even get out of bed. Help. That is so sad. Oh my God. Like, I'm really, really sorry if this was your companion. I'm going to say, having only had animals pass away that were like family animals. So I've never lived with an animal on my own, just me and my cat. I'm assuming that's what you are. Not that to say that cat people are lonely. Maybe you have a family as well, and this is your cat that you've just had forever. I think if you were this distraught, I think you should get another cat. I think get another cat, fill the void, and just start anew with a new cat. And it will not be your old cat. No one could ever be your old cat, but you will begin to make new memories with this cat. It'll help you laugh and remember the fun and nice times with your other cat that passed away. And yeah, I think it's time for you to get a new cat and make some new memories that will help you find the light and the joy in it. Because right now, all you have is the darkness and sadness, and that's really making me sad for you. So get another cat. And if you are only someone that relies on the cat distribution system, just remember that the cat distribution system puts a lot of cats at adoption centers. Okay. They are also getting the distribution of cats. So go there and adopt one. Okay. And give a sweet little kitty, maybe adopt an older cat. No, don't do that. It will die again sooner. Get a kitten at an adoption center and live your best kitty furry life. But I think get another cat. Buy an existing home or build new and choose finishes how you did. Me personally, this is a really personal opinion. I don't think I would ever do again what we did, but that's coming from someone who doesn't give a fuck enough to like make these decisions. Like when I was in that design meeting and they were like, what color do you want your knobs to be in your third bathroom upstairs? I was like, I don't give a fuck. I literally don't give a fuck. Taylor's dream is to build her custom home from scratch. And if that's your dream, do that, because changing all the pre-existing stuff was kind of more annoying because we wanted to change so much. Whereas like if you just built from scratch and you love making little tedious decisions, like that's my hell, but that's Taylor's dream, then build from scratch. Moving forward, the next house we buy, I will try to find a house that I love so much that I just know I can make minimal changes to. Like things that I'll look at and I'll be like, I can't wait to make that room my own. I can't wait to make that kitchen my own. But like, I don't want to redo cabinets and tiles, like renovating an entire bathroom. Like, oh, fucking catch me not doing that again. Maybe I'll change my mind. Maybe I find a house that's in the perfect location and it's the perfect distance and it's the perfect this, but it's not the house we want, so I'll redo the whole thing. I don't know. But right now, my dream is to really just like find a house that we loved and to make minimal changes. But it's a personal situation, like I guess if you want it to do that or not. Okay, last one is some mother-in-law drama. Basically, this person said to me, my mother-in-law is driving me nuts. She's trying to make my daughter's first birthday all about her. I actually reached out and I messaged this person. I said, can you explain more how she's trying to make it about her? I need more details. Yeah, there's a lot of little things, but the one that made me very annoyed, it's going to be a casual get together at my house. And of course, the guest list just keeps growing. And once she found out that a few people that are coming, she subtly tried to make changes when originally she asked me just when and where it was. The people she found out that are coming are very normal people, but they have a very well-known last name in our town and they have some money. So I guess like once the mother-in-law found out that these like hoity-toity people were coming, she started caring a lot more about the party when originally she was just like, oh, where is it and what time? She then was calling me, telling me that we should have the party at my sister-in-law's house instead, because she doesn't have dogs. And these women of these wealthy families will be wearing very nice clothes. They won't want dog hair near them. Like when I tell you this is never, ever, ever anything my mother-in-law would say to me, but like I am picturing, like I grew up in the South. I can picture the woman that's saying this to you right now. And I'm just like, ooh, okay. She said that these are wealthy families that will be wearing nice clothes and will not want dog hair near them. She gave another reason that my sister-in-law's house has much nicer furniture and more space in the backyard for people. Also told me if I insist on keeping it at my house, that she seriously told me to make sure I clean the toilets and put tablecloths on our tables because they tend to look dirty sometimes. She is making it sound like I live in filth, Shannon, but I actually have a very normal, clean house, LOL. Basically, she's so obsessed with her image and appearances and can't just let me have my casual party for my daughter that I planned on. Also, mind you, I know these couples very well, and I can tell you they don't give a rat's ass if a little dog hair gets on their clothes. I hope I explained that well. It's just so annoying. My husband tells me that she just feels inferior and it's her own issues. Don't let it bother you. But it just was freaking rude that she had to insult my home because of her own issues. I'm 31. This is my first baby, so I'm trying to make it. She said, so I'm obviously going to make the party really cute. I'm a normal human being, and obviously I'm going to clean my house before a party. I'm not a monster. Like, your husband, and I hate to utter these words, your husband is right. This is her issue. This is an insecurity, which by the way, like, I'm so sorry, but one more time, like, kudos to your husband for saying that about his own mother. Like, shouts out to men who see their mother's, faults and are man enough to say them to their wife and be like, yeah, she clearly has insecurities. This is her. But it's just so frustrating because like men are men and they can just like get over it. They're like, that's a her thing. Who cares? It's like, me, motherfucker, I care. Me. And so he's right. So if you can try your hardest to remind yourself that she's a bit sad. She lives in a prison she's designed for herself and her mind. Okay. That's a really, really, like constricting and I would imagine really claustrophobic way to live your life, to always be thinking about the wealthy families don't want dog hair on their legs. Like, oh my God, like what are you living for? Like your life is sad. Like that's really harsh, but like, I'm sorry if she's saying all this stuff to you, to your face, crazy. Like by the way, I just know she's gotta be from the South. Then I think like it's very validated for you to have these feelings about her. And I just think she lives a really sad life. And you have to remind yourself of that like you and your husband are going to throw the cutest, most darling party for your daughter, your 1-year-old daughter, who is, by the way, never going to remember this party. She'll see the photos. So make it cute like you just said you would. You're like, I'm going to clean my house. I'm not a monster. It's going to be a cute party. Do what you want to do for you and for your daughter. And your husband's clearly on board and clearly was like, don't listen to my mom. So you have to try and let it go. But how to handle it is to just like say to her, like if she's like, please just make sure you clean your toilets and your tables, and like you can just say to her, like, her name's Susan. Susan, I always clean my toilets and like house before guests come over for a party. This will be no different. Like just like, I don't know, less is more. Like when I fixate on stuff and I'm like, and then she said this, so I'm going to say this to her. I'm like, if you just remove it and you're like, that is her weird fucking shit, not my weird fucking shit, I don't care. Like then you can just like find solace and happiness in your party, and like, don't be around her at the party. You know what I mean? Don't be around her because you're going to be seeing her like, oh, let's clean this dog hair off. Like don't be near her and don't be around her as much as you can. I know it's the mother-in-law and it's her granddaughter's first birthday. So like, of course she'll be there, but like try not to hyperfixate. Try not to watch her. You know what I mean? Like I could see myself doing that. Like watching her being like, oh, is she looking at this now? Try to just focus on other stuff. Let her do her weird shit that she internalizes and focus on your daughter and focus on the happiness and the ice cream and the balloons and the cuteness, and fucking let your mother-in-law watch you be chummy as fuck with these cool, wealthy, well-to-do people and realize, oh fuck, they're just normal people who love my daughter-in-law and don't give a shit about her dogs. Everyone has dogs. Like, shut the fuck up. But like, that is so annoying. Well, guys, that is wrapping up my very, very wonderful doctor advice segment of the podcast. My sister just walked in. We're about to record. She brought me McDonald's French fries and a Coke. So I literally have to go kiss her on the lips. Okay? I love you guys so, so much. Hope you enjoyed. And if any of this advice results in you getting a divorce or your mother-in-law's hating you or not wanting to get another cat, I'll wear that. That's on me. I love you so much. Bye.